We're back, Cardinal fans. Hopefully we do not have any more internet issues, but as you know, I don't think I can promise anything. So the score is, to update you guys, the score is 38-24. Your Cardinals are up with 1:46 left in the third quarter.
Huntsville's moving fast down the court. Can't convert there, though.
And I just checked the stream, guys, and we are looking strong so far.
That could change, though.
That could change shortly.
Subject to change.
Van Zant passes it to the wing to Culpepper. Culpepper back to the top to Pence. Cardinals are really moving the ball around right now. And they're really kind of using a motion offense. Pence goes up for the three. It's off the front of the rim. But Culpepper gets the rebound. Kersey inside to Pence. Pence with the layup, but that looks like a pretty physical play right there.
Yeah, it's going to get even more physical right here down the stretch. Both teams are going to try and play as tough as they can.
Huntsville is probably only going to have 5 points, maybe 7 or 8 in this quarter. So if they really want to come back, they'll have to do a lot better this time around, be a lot more efficient.
Yeah, I think as far when you compare coming out of the first half to coming out of the second half, we definitely came out a lot stronger in the second half. And I feel like there was the score is.
Johnson's on the bench, and Tidwell, I think, is sitting right now. So we got a nice rotation of people right now that are not in the game. So they got to be ready to come with full force.
The Lady Cardinals get the steal. They go down for the layup and get the foul. Van Zandt will be at the line for 2 shots. The first one is a little off the mark, and the Huntsville Eagles are going to check in number 22, Paige Bennett, and number 2, Grace Mays, is going to check out. Van Zandt's going to go up for her second shot, and that one is good.
So barring something drastic, the score is going to be 41-24 heading into the final quarter.
And there's a double dribble by the Eagles. That foul is committed by Poor. Van Zandt is going to inbound the pass, I assume, to Audrey Culpepper. Nope, Eliza Ball.
One last shot.
And it goes off the back of the rim. And that is the end of the third quarter with your Farmington Cardinals up 41-24. And I think we'll keep it right here.
Yeah,
we'll keep it right here. We had some
we don't want to risk anything.
We had some technical difficulties, and we kind of missed some of the game. So I think it's fair. Let's talk about what they may have missed during that time.
It wasn't much.
Not much.
Third quarter was a little slow, at least there at the beginning. I think we made 1 3 within like the first couple minutes. But other than that, it was slow. But right around the time we got back, coincidentally, is when more points were scored. Yeah, I think you mentioned it. As far as this quarter, I believe they only scored like what, 5
points
in this quarter.
It was 11-5 in this quarter.
Yeah.
Again, very low scoring.
Yeah, kind of might be a difference maker if the game ends up being close. Then that might be the difference maker that people are going to point back to and say, well, that third quarter is when we stepped up and we kind of spaced ourselves out a little bit right there.
It'll take a rally because they would almost have to double their points from these first 3 quarters in order to make a comeback. I mean, Huntsville, they played them tough, but they kind of let up. Like, they had some lapses on defense. I mean, they still were pretty tight, but they just couldn't convert on offense. And for all the stops you have on defense, if you can't go back and counter on offense, you're not going to come out with a victory. And that looks like what's going to happen here, again, barring an epic comeback.
And it looks like the Cardinals are going to come out with a squad of Eliza Ball, McKenna Van Zandt, Audrey Culpepper, Madison Pence, and Tori Kersey. The Huntsville Eagles are going to come out with Selfridge, Poor, Drawer, and I think that's Thomas, and number 22, Bennett.
They still got Roach on the bench. I think they still got Johnston and Tidwell, so I think they're keeping the same people out there.
And the Cardinals are not going to let up at the fourth quarter. They're going to keep the press defense. And I think that was a foul on McKenna Van Zant. And Roach and Trenton Johnson are going to check in for Eliza Ball and Madison Pence.
Right now it appears that Kersey's our leading scorer with 12.
And a high pass over to Dror. Dror's going to pass it back to Kapoor. Thomas is going to drive in with three Lady Cardinals in her face, and that ball is going to get stolen. Kersey's going to take it down the court. She's going to spin, put it up, and she gets her own rebound, passes it over to Culpepper with the easy bucket.
I know they don't really keep stats on these games that much outside of just the team scores, but I'd like to see how many turnovers that Farmington's forced tonight.
Yeah, Farmington definitely trying to run away with this game. I mean, you look at it first quarter and halftime, you probably wouldn't have predicted that. And then now you look at it, and it's like it's another game.
I mean,
like
Huntsville surprised me.
It's like another Farmington team has come out to play in the second half. And not like I told you so, but I kind of figured that Coach Jones would make improvements and you kind of get rid of those mistakes. And I think that's what's been happening so far in the second half.
I mean, Huntsville's had a good effort tonight. I mean, I've looked at them. I think we beat Gentry by 40-something, and they've got a better record than Huntsville. So we've beaten better teams by a lot more. And Huntsville really came out. In the first half, they did a pretty good job. I think if they had a better offensive night, though, and then made a couple more defensive stops in the second half, I mean, it probably would not be this comfortable of a lead.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have saw that. Like, I felt comfortable with the lead going into halftime, which was what, not even double digits?
It was 11. It was 11.
Okay, 11. Barely double digits.
Still, though, they could have come back.
Yeah. Which Huntsville is a talented team, but I don't know if I would say necessarily that they're a team built to come back from a 23-point deficit. I'm not putting it out of their way, but
I think this next Huntsville team we see I think they could give Farmington, the boys, quite a handful since they've got two pretty good big men.
And that's kind of a little ongoing rivalry between the guys. They played in the Tony Satchery's tournament. The guys won. Our guys won. Farmington Cardinals won. And then we played Huntsville in the beginning of the season, and we lost.
Hey, while you're on that topic, we'll touch on it more before the boys' game. But we beat them in the Tony Satchery's game. But as far as real conference play goes, 6-0 and 6-0. You got two teams. I mean, that one's going to be a good one. Let's save that one for later, but you know.
Hey, thanks for stopping me, Dallas. I was about to go on a little tangent there.
Oh yes.
Again, the Farmington boys team are definitely have their work cut out for them. I think they'll be ready though.
Yeah, they have that strong point guard McCone. He's a real leader.
Sean McCone.
Yep.
He's also the quarterback.
He's also the quarterback.
Yeah.
He's a multiple sport player. But anyways, Van Zant's gonna walk the ball up the court.
I think because of the score, the mercy rule, the clock's going to keep running. So
yeah,
fourth quarter should be.
I wouldn't be surprised to watch the Cardinals just kind of pass the ball around a little bit right here, just kind of take a little clock off. Not really looking to score. Roach the corner. She's going to try to drive in on the baseline, and she does a little circle act right there and passes it off to Kersey. She gets the easy layup, and that's kind of just been the story all night for the Cardinals. They kind of scare the Eagles with that three-point shooting, but then they're also going inside for the easy buckets.
Yeah, and there was a good pass out there by Roach, who initially was going to drive in herself and pass it out to Kersey. It was a little out there, but Kersey with that long wingspan reached out there and went and got it, and then brought it in herself.
And it looks like number 2, Mays, is going to check in for Selfridge for the Eagles. And Tidwell is going to check in for Culpepper.
I will say this. Farmington's worn out Huntsville, and I'm obviously not a coach, but I can't help but notice that I think they've got 9 players here tonight. 3 of them are still in their warm-up shirts. So they've only had pretty much a 6-person rotation, and when you're only running with 6 players, you'll get tired. Now, we have an 8-person rotation, and like the boys said, we could probably extend it out to 9 or 10 if we really needed to, but when you're playing with 6, it gets a lot harder to win.
Right. That's a
Like
lot
he'll
heavier.
get tired out, and we've tired him out with the full court press, with aggressive defense, like in the paint. We've limited a lot of offensive opportunities for them.
And I think that's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to go to the Eagles. Number 21, Madison Phillips. I don't believe she's on my roster.
Nonetheless, she's going to come into the game with about 4:50 left to play.
Number
I
5.
imagine soon Farmington might send in their backups.
Will we see the JV guys, or girls tonight, I should say?
Core's going to pass it over
That's the
to
question.
Thomas. And Huntsville's having a little trouble with the Lady Cardinal defense. It's going to go inside to Phillips. Phillips is going to get double teamed. She's going to back to the top. And Mays is going to take a shot, and that didn't even touch the rim. It's going to go out of bounds on the Eagles. And Tidwell's going to inbound it to Van Zandt.
I feel like I need to say it. If Kersey's arms were the net, she would have sunk it.
Yeah. And out of respect for May's shot, because she'd made a few of those, it was a little
She
surprising.
has made a few. I mean,
She
I
made a
probably.
few, but then to turn around and make an air ball, it was quite surprising. And
I think this Huntsville team, they're just. I don't want to say they've given up because.
I think you touched on it earlier. They're just tired. A lot of them had to play pretty much the whole game.
And there's a steal by Van Zandt. She's going to pass it over to Kersey, and she's going to get the easy buckets. And that's just, I think I've said it before, that's been the story of this game all night. Cardinals getting those steals, driving down, and just getting the easy baskets.
Yeah, I think what happens when fatigue's been kind of the play of the game, and then the turnovers, I think those are connected. Because as you play, you're not only getting physically tired, you're getting mentally tired. Because any sport's going to wear and tear on you like that, on your brain. And I think over time it's easier to make those mental laps. Because you look at it, first quarter we didn't have that many. Second quarter we had a few, but third quarter and fourth
Huntsville,
quarter,
they're playing tight.
we've had a lot.
And it also helps, at least on our end, when you've got such an array of scores like we have right now. We have 3 scoring in double figures, and we have one that's almost in double figures with 9. And then you have another one on the bench right now, I think that's Pence, that is also a pretty big scoring threat as well. So when you have so many shooters, it's hard to defend, and soon you're going to get tired out, especially if you're really only relying on 5 people and a 6th man.
Right.
It looks like the Eagles are going to send in some subs, and so are the Cardinals.
They've dug into their rotation a bit.
I don't blame them. It's 53-24 with your Cardinals on top with just about 2 minutes left.
Huntsville hasn't scored this entire quarter. They stayed at 24 this whole quarter.
I have not noticed that.
I remember it. I said 11-5 after the third. They had 19 at half.
I don't want to say it to jinx us, but what a thing that'd be if we shut them out in the fourth quarter.
I mean, I don't think they're going to cry themselves to sleep. Farmington's not going to cry ourselves to sleep if we shut them out in the fourth quarter. If we don't.
Farmington's going to send in the mass subs. They're going to send in Camilla Garola, Amelia Fuqua, and number 1, Amelia Earnhardt. Is that right, Dallas?
Number 1 is Madison Earnhardt.
My apologies, Madison Earnhardt.
Amelia Fuqua is going to be number 18 over there, passing it in to Drain, number 2.
And it appears that rotation that just came out, their night is probably over.
Good minutes put
Hey,
in.
it's well-deserved rest.
Well deserved.
I think the only holdover in that whole group is Eliza Ball, I think. Yes.
And that's going to be out of bounds on the Cardinals, and it's going to go the other way. With 34, Cora Copeland's going to inbound it to get that jersey number, Mays. Phillips is going to be inside, and it's going to be not stolen.
Jump ball, I think.
Oh, and it's going to go the other way to the Cardinals.
Nice job by Drain, getting in there and fighting for it. Tough play.
Fuqua's going to inbound it to Drain, and Drain's going to take it across the timeline.
And I know this is kind of an old, tired sports cliche, but I mean, this is probably a time where you kind of look at what you have rotationally, like who's your future, because I think outside of Fuqua, and Ball, all the others aren't seniors, so they'll all be probably in getting some varsity minutes next year. So, again, this is a good time to face some of that. I remember when I was on the football team, Huntsville, we get to go in a little bit. It was always nice to go out there because for some of them it may be their only time they go out there all year, so it's nice to get some new faces in there, especially in a game like this.
Mays is going to go for the 3, and right there she shows she can make that shot, a little redemption.
Right.
But it's too little too late.
It's a little too late.
First points in the fourth quarter did not come until there were less than 30 seconds left. And Farmington's probably just going to sit on the ball.
And it looks like after scoring 19 in the first half, we're going to hold the Lady Eagles to just 5 in the third quarter and 3 in the second quarter. So just a total of 8. Only under double digits. That's good defense. We said it at the beginning. We're saying it now at the end. Good defense. We didn't know if they'd be able to keep it up the whole game, and it appears that they did.
A dominant performance by your Lady Cardinals. And I'm not sure, I think, are the guys going to come out right after this?
There will be about a 10-minute gap in between.
Yeah, 10 to 15 minutes. So we'll be back.
We're going to cut the stream.
We're going to cut the stream. We're going to make a second one just for the boys. And so everyone wanting to watch the boys' game, we advise everyone watching the girls' game to come back and watch the guys' stream. But anyone extra that wants to come along, tell your friends, family. We're going to stream the guys' game. It's going to be a good one. Until then, Brody, send us off.
Hey, I'm Brody Hill. I'm joined with Ori Phillips and Dallas Walker. And this is Farm Cars Live Sports Network. And we'll be back for your Farmington Cardinal guys matchup between against the Huntsville Eagles.